Good evening, everybody. Bienvenidos. Just a reminder before I call this meeting to order, if there's anybody in the public who would like to address the board this evening during open forum, make sure you fill out one of the yellow forms that's on the table and go ahead and submit it to Ms. Delgado, our administrative assistant. Thank you so much. With that being said, I now call to order this Gaston Independent School District regular school board meeting for Thursday, December 7th, 2023 at 5:01 p.m. Ms. Delgado, can you please take roll call?
Mr. Cano?
Present.
Mr. Castillo?
Present.
Ms. Flores?
Present.
Ms. Murillo?
Present.
Ms. Rodriguez? Madam President, we have established quorum.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to Superintendent Dempsey.
Madam President, board members, Ms. Navarro, please.
Good evening, Board President, board members, and Superintendent Mr. Dempsey. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and salute to the New Mexico flag that will be led by Kimberly Lozoya, Allison Sierra, Sebastian Monares, and Jean Carlos Cancel.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico to be a symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures.
Thank you. Board President, board members, and Superintendent Mr. Dempsey, it is a great pleasure to entertain you all tonight with our outstanding choir class from Ms. Sara Urea and Mr. Hill. Ms. Urea will be providing us with more information on their performance. This will be Ms. Urea's last performance because she is retiring after 30 years of commitment to education. Congratulations, Ms. Urea.
Thank you very much, Ms. Navarro. And this is our choir from Riverside Elementary, and is made out of children from 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th grades. The first song we're going to sing is called Shout for Joy.
Your candlelight and mine will radiate and shine, growing stronger for all the world to see. You and me, God and glory, fill these passions. In the glow of candlelight I see stone and golden, know these passions. Peace for you and me. Peace for you and me.
Our last song is called Ale, Ale, Ale. And we have drummers and they're the same students that we sang before, Matthew Gonzalez, Camilo Mota, Kate Galvan, and Kimberly Gonzalez.
Board President, board members, and Superintendent Mr. Dempsey, it is with great honor that I present to you our teachers, staff, students, parents of Riverside Elementary Spotlight School for the 23-22 school year. Allow me to provide you with a background information on how the information that has led us to a spotlight school. Extraordinary results begin with one small change. We have made many, many small changes that have positively impacted our students' progress, as you can see. Changes in our school environment and school safety, as all our doors are locked and students are monitored at all times. Our IAs are in duty in the morning, during lunch schedule, and after students are released. Thank you to all our IAs. Classroom and hallways are being painted and maintained every school year so that the students and parents can feel that they are coming into a new building every year. In addition, as you can all see, remodeling outside around the campus. This small changes became a huge change in the amount of dollars spent. Right, Ms. Cadenas? Ms. Cadena is the Director of Support Services Department. As soon as she took this department, she knew that this school needed some tender loving care. Thank you, Ms. Cadenas, to you and your staff. Focusing on academics and implementing all district curriculum initiatives have been a challenge, but our outstanding teachers are always up to the challenge. Let me tell you some information that you might not know other than testing data. 33 of our 45 teachers go beyond 7-hour classes instruction as they help us with serving over 349 students in our after-school programs 4 days a week. This is a true dedication and commitment to our students. But the most effective small change that has guided to our progress has been our school culture. To get what we never had, we must do what we have never done. We became Cobra family. Together, as a family, we had to move away from balanced literacy to structured literacy, from classroom instruction to Google Classroom instruction, and so on. As a Cobra family, we have bonded through our personal lives. We have shared bad news, divorces, death in the family, like my sister, as well as good news, new marriages, Ms. Canfield, Ms. Rico, growing families, Ms. Rubicela Gonzalez, 2 babies, Ms. Ramirez, Maricela Ramirez, 3 babies, and of course our grandbabies. Ms. De Los Santos, Mr. Portillo, Mr. Hidalgo, Ms. Perez, our nurse, and of course myself became grandparents. Our list goes on and on. As a principal at this school over 10 years, there's no way that I could have accomplished all this without our Cobra family, especially without our amazing instructional leaders that have been part of this administration. Please allow me to introduce to you our administration team. Representing kinder, Ms. Canfield, and I believe she had an emergency. First grade, Mr. Robert Parra. Second grade, Maricela Ramirez. Third grade, Karen Hernandez. Fourth grade, Olga Arguelles. Fifth grade, Ms. Sandra Galindo. Sixth grade, Ms. Ruby Alvarez. Our SPED department, Rene Hidalgo. Special programs, Carlos Lascano. Our administrative team, Ms. Jessica Armendariz, is a curriculum coach, and of course my 2 APs, Luz Valenzuela and Adriana Flavia. I leave you with this Cobra family. You may have to fight a battle more than once to win. Continue fighting for our students. Thank you.
Inside joke, because whenever one of us is missing, we send a picture of ourselves and then we put his little sticky face.
That's right, we'll crop them in. Thank you. Okay, our let's pause for a second. Our next item, we have the New Mexico Vistas. This is, we're gonna recognize, we already heard from Riverside, and you get a feel for this is New Mexico's school designations, and we have several schools that were recognized in the 2 highest categories. And so to even really start this, Mr. Hernandez, I didn't tell you about this, but Mr. Hernandez, will you please come up and join us? If you don't know Ms. Hernandez, she's our Chief Academic Officer, and when I had the opportunity to bring her into that position, and it was a brand new position, pretty quickly, and about weekly, she asked me to go back to the campus, honestly, because she usually misses kids. And I tell her, well, that's fine, as long as soon as we get 90% proficient, you can return. And unfortunately, she is well on her way to getting that. She is really the heart and soul of our academic services program. And I can't say enough about her passion for kids, and that energy drives all the others. And our principals will get recognized here in a minute, but Mr. Nez, I wanted to give you a chance. I want to thank you for that work and effort and your passion that you bring for our kids.
Madam President, members of the board, and Superintendent Dempsey, thank you so much. I wish I could take the credit, but as you saw, Ms. Navarro's group, it's the staff. We can support and guide in what we feel is research-based instruction and working with students. I know most of the people in this district. I've worked, in fact, this was my school as an instructional coach, and then I had the opportunity to move up as an assistant principal. So my heart is in this community as well, because this is where I was afforded my first position as administrator. And I'm very grateful to the district, but I think that I'm most grateful for the great people that work in our district. Across the state, we meet with different entities. Legislative Finance Committee was here yesterday, and one of the things they always discuss in regards to visiting our district is that we're very unique. We're very unique in that we're a very student-centered organization, and they see it, and I think that that's the employees in this district, everybody from our custodians to our cafeteria workers, our instructional assistants, our security. It is a collaborative effort. It is a team effort. It's a very difficult effort, but it's starting to show, and this district has always been great. We go through different initiatives depending on what the state is asking us to do, and our staff and our people, it's hard to embrace change every time, but this current piece that we're working on in regards to really supporting our instruction is working out in our district, and very proud of the campuses that got it. I think as you go through the campuses, I think it's important for our board to know that the lowest performing schools are ranked as an MRI. It almost sounds like you're on life support. In our district, we do not have any MRI schools. I know that we're only going to highlight the spotlight schools, but I also want the board to know we had several schools who just missed the spotlight by several points, like a point, 3 points, 5 points. So I think we're well on our way, and next year, as we continue to grow and continue to train ourselves and the district, I feel that we will be here again with more schools in the spotlight. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hernandez. So our first school that I want to recognize is the school that was designated excellence. So Ms. De La Garza, will you come up and represent Alta Vista Early College High School, please?
Good evening, Madam President Flores, school board members, and Superintendent Dempsey. First of all, I just want to let everyone know that our school day does end at 4:55, but I would like to thank our DPA neighbors for assisting this afternoon so that my teachers could arrive on time to this deserving recognition. So Mrs. Ludwig and staff, thank you. Student success, it starts with the forefront of strong, dedicated individuals. Those individuals are our teachers and counselors in our district and at Alta Vista. I would like to thank and recognize our Mighty Owl teachers and Mighty Owl academic counselor, and say how proud I am for their dedication, commitment to the profession, and hard work that has led us to the success of Alta Vista's designation rankings these past 2 years. These individuals in some way or another have been a part of our students' learning, academic and social growth, and hence their success. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be core teachers. It takes everyone in a school setting to create one unified school and goal, the success of students. By building positive relationships, providing instructional practices that motivate and engage students, preparing them academically, making them feel welcomed and encouraged. They not only are their teachers, but also mentors. Our academic counselor has contributed to this success, building supportive relationships by guiding students toward their bright future with post-secondary information, toward the college and career readiness spectrum, and the day-to-day social and emotional support. All these individuals are the students' cheering squad on the stands, woo-hooing them with pom-poms, with shout-outs and praises. To continue our success and celebration, on Thursday, December 14th at 4 p.m., we will be recognizing our students for their amazing accomplishments these past 2 years, including our alumni 2023. This celebration will be recognizing the 2022 Spotlight designation. We received a score of 69, and our designation currently School of Excellence for the 2023, scoring 85. And now, I would like to introduce our Alta Vista Mariel family and ask that they please come forward and be recognized. In social studies, Mr. Saul Almeida. Science, Dr. Rachel Acuña and Ms. Rocio Campos. Math, Dr. Mark Franzak. Ms. Nunez also is our math department in our department who was unable to join us because she has a class that she teaches at UTEP. In English, Mrs. Jill Sangabi. And Mrs. Leticia Myers, who was unable to join us. PE, Coach Miguel Rosales. For CT Media, Mrs. Candace Brenniger, who was unable to join us because she is with her daughter welcoming their first grandbaby. For special ed, Mr. David Martin del Campo. Our academic counselor, Mrs. Catherine Angel. Again, thank you to these wonderful individuals standing before you, their excellent accomplishment. This is truly an honor upon our teachers that has been bestowed upon our teachers and students for all of their hard work and academic commitment.
A lot of photo opportunities, but it's good to celebrate, right? So that's Alta Vista. Is Ms. Lopez here with Anthony Elementary? All right, come join us. Hi, Ms. Lopez. While she comes up, Anthony Elementary will be the school that's recognized as a Spotlight. It received our Spotlight designation, and Ms. Lopez.
First, I would like to say again that last year was my year of where I felt that I was similar to what I would call a pirate. I had one eye and I was limping, and I thought, I'm gonna make it through the year, because I started as an AP and I worked my way into becoming a principal. But I had to make the school feel that we were gonna be successful. And coming in there and feeling that way, it was like if we have to work double hard for our students to make it. And so it was the perseverance of our lead teachers within each grade level letting them know that we were going to build a different culture and a new culture with the upcoming Marzano trainings and the help from the associates, the help from our instructional coaches, the help from everyone at our campus. Even the IAs had to come in. And building everything and then having that opportunity to have an AP come in with me was amazing. Towards the end of the year, we had to make our own core values and our purposes, and it was just the best feeling in the world to build that culture. Because without that culture and that climate, we wouldn't have made it where we are now. And on top of that, our students at Anthony Elementary they put so much effort in wanting to succeed throughout the whole year. It was amazing to see them do that. And the teachers, our teachers at Anthony have put timeless effort into looking at their data, building student trackers, building units of study. It's great to see how far we have come. The other people that I want to recognize, if you look at the spotlight information, is our ELLs. Our ELLs showed so much growth. I am very proud of them because without the support from these teachers that they gave these ELLs, we wouldn't have made it where we are. So I don't have a lot of teachers here to represent us, but I do have some people that came with me but I do want to thank everyone at our school for getting us this ranking. And it's Ms. Valdez is my assistant principal and my instructional coach, Veronica Sanchez. And we will be celebrating in January for Spotlight.
Elementary was one of our schools that was consolidated. And so Mesquite Elementary has now been brought into Vado and North Valley, which we're incredibly excited to pull that quality of staff and students into our other schools, and we're incredibly excited about that possibility. So unfortunately, I don't have a principal, because there's no longer a principal at Mesquite Elementary, but we still want to celebrate that work and effort that they did, so we really want to recognize them this evening. So do we happen to have any teachers that came from, that's a former teacher from Mesquite? Okay, good, okay. Ms. Navarro, did we take a picture with you guys?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
Yeah, we did.
I don't remember.
We had them all. We had them. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for that. And as Ms. Hernandez mentioned, now that we have a little bit of feel for what this system's going to look like, we're really going to be working hard to make sure our schools are getting those higher designations, and that's always our expectation. And I really appreciate our families that work incredibly hard to make sure their children are in school, and then they give us a chance to educate them. So that's very important to us. Next item we have, Ms. Villalobos, will you join us up here? I didn't tell you either about this on purpose. So Rosie, will you come up and join us? For those of you that don't know Ms. Villalobos, she is in charge of our federal programs. And Rosie is the one of the team that is a cheerleader, but a little bit more than a cheerleader is we're going to think different and we're going to do things different. And she proposed to me a while back that we are going to market Gadsden ISD and we're going to do a better job of this. And I said, okay, so you have to teach me some things here. And it didn't take her but just a few weeks, and before you know it, I have KTSM in my office, and they're wanting to talk to me about partnerships. And I hear about this project that they're working on, and then that's where I need to ask Ms. Lopez and Ms. Legareta to come join us. And I'm really proud, Rosie, you started this, and that's why I wanted to recognize you. Now, what she was able to reach out to these ladies and say, let's create a partnership between two of our high schools, right? What a novel idea that we work together to benefit the district. And so this project then got created. And so Ms. Lopez and Ms. Legareta, if you want to bring your staff up and recognize them.
Lopez, can you turn on the volume? Thank you, ma'am.
There you go, sorry. Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Dempsey, thank you all for inviting us here tonight, and thank you, Ms. Villalobos. She brought to the two high schools, both Chaparral and High School, a project to market GISD. And Ms. Legareta and I jumped in and we were very supportive of the project. Our two schools work very well together. We have two wonderful teachers in our CTE programs, Ms. Isela Ramos from Gadsden High School and Mr. Stephen Gabaldon. They got together and they worked on this project. With a combination of our students. And so I'm going to introduce Ms. Ramos. She's going to do a little bit of an introduction, and then the students are going to show you what their project was.
Alrighty, I wasn't prepared for this. They had told me just Ms. Lopez was going to talk. So good evening, Madam President, Superintendent, and members of the board. I'm going to introduce my student, Andrea Lozoya. She'll be giving just a quick little introduction to the project. We did give a longer presentation right before we went to Thanksgiving break, and Mr. Dempsey was there. And so this is a very, very condensed version of it because of time. And so I'll let her take over, as well as Ari, who's from Chaparral. Thank you.
I just have to tell you, this was my pre-K student. She's my favorite teacher.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Lozoya. I'm gonna move this up just a little. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Andrea Lozoya. I am an attendee of Gadsden High School. I am a fourth-year marketing student as well as a fourth-year DECA member. And I am so excited and proud to showcase our KTSM collaboration with GISD and Chaparral's very own audio and visual production team. So let's get right into it. Our task at hand was to create 3 15-second videos showcasing what GISD has to offer, as well as 6 banner ads, all consisting of what we wanted to showcase. So since there is 3 videos, we tackled the first one being elementary schools. We wanted to showcase all the elementary schools in GISD, as well as middle high school condensed in another video, and then the last video being teacher recruitment. So as we know, teacher recruitment is extremely important in any school district, especially this one. So we wanted to highlight that. We also created banners. So with these banners, we wanted to showcase what the students were bringing, or what the school was bringing to the students more so, such as clubs. As you can see over here on every screen, we have clubs, graduation photos, a lot of student-based learning. And this whole project was student-based learning at its finest. And that's what we really got to touch and focus on when working on this project. So with the time constraint of 15 seconds, we knew that we wanted to showcase and highlight all the important aspects that GISD has. So I will now pass it on to Adi, which was a part of the Chaparral's audio and visual production team. And she got to, well, Chaparral was more so the editing aspect, and we were the marketing planning. So Gadsden was marketing planning, Chaparral was editing. So I will now pass it on to her.
Good afternoon, I'm Ari Marcha. When we were given this task, we were only given 15 seconds for each video. So that was really challenging, but throughout the videos we were able to contain the aspects of each video we wanted to make, such as the teacher recruitment, the middle schools, and the CTE programs in high school. I was in charge of filming and recording the actual film. My partner that's not here edited the videos, and I know that he struggled a lot with the time constraint and trying to get everything into the videos themselves. But we learned a lot through this experience. We gained a lot of skill within the class and then within ourselves too. We built a lot of new relationships with Gadsden, as they were really helpful to us throughout this whole experience. And yeah, back to Andrea.
Thank you. Now for the moment we've all been waiting for. We're so excited to show our videos that we created. Let's start with the elementary video, if it's possible.
24 campuses and over 12,000 students, GISD teachers are the cornerstone in fostering young minds. We offer competitive pay, mentorship programs, as well as national board certification support. So,
What are you waiting for?
Join us at GISD.
At GISD, we are taking steps towards our future using technology and fun learning activities like the Weather Fest.
Join us and experience excellence in education
at GISD!
Experience excellence in education at GISD. Take pride in being a snake, owl, panther, lobo, or warrior. Shape your future careers with GISD's diverse learning opportunities. Ignite your passion. Join our team.
The students here at Gadsden, they're amazing.
Almost as we wanted to incorporate to show all the schools. On the left you'll see elementary schools, middle schools, and on the right as well as high schools. And with this we had it in an in-house program, so the quote right there is experience excellence in education. Now that quote was actually made by one of our very own Gadsden students, marketing students, and we had throughout this whole project, it was very hands-on, and we loved every second of it, and we couldn't be prouder to showcase what GISD has, as well as the teamwork with Chaparral also. Now, we have a lot of more group members to this project, but they unfortunately were not able to be here today. But as I mentioned, we do have a DECA website, so feel free to all join that and watch our incredible videos, hopefully with the audio this time, but yes, thank you so much.
So while you get ready for the
Okay.
picture, let me just
Yeah,
briefly
tell
say, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Dempsey. KTSM is highly, I cannot tell you how impressed they are with our students and with our teachers and what is happening in the district. You can also see these videos on KTSM webpage. They're gonna be showing them for a while. They're gonna keep bringing and they wanna keep creating stories for Gadsden that you're gonna be seeing, so please try to see KTSM because you're gonna be seeing things happening at Gadsden. One of the things next week on Wednesday, they're gonna be here at Riverside. Ms. Navarro doesn't have all the details yet, but they're gonna be here at Riverside at one delivering jackets because they really are gonna be part of the projects with the Rotary Club and with the older community because they really wanna be part of what's happening in Gadsden. They're so impressed with our kids and our teachers. I cannot tell you how much they have been praising us. It's really very nice to see this.
Okay, our next item, Ms. Suggs. I think you might have come to join us. While she's coming up, I am incredibly proud of Santa Teresa High School, who was just recently recognized by the College Board as AP Honor Roll, and it's a designation of bronze with access. So, Ms. Suggs, maybe you can help us understand that. I will tell you, this is an incredible recognition that's really at a national level. So, Ms. Suggs.
Good evening, Madam President Salazar Flores, board members, and Superintendent Dempsey. That is correct. Recently, Santa Teresa High School was recognized with a bronze with access from College Board. What that means is that STHS has demonstrated and has the data to show that we have a clear and effective commitment to equitable access to advanced coursework. Ms. Cobos and Ms. Hudspeth are our leaders when it comes to our AP PLC, and they are clear evidence that there is no doubt that when a small group and thoughtful, committed individuals get together, they can change the world. As a matter of fact, Margaret Mead said that's the only thing that can. So I'm going to let Ms. Cobos and Ms. Hudspeth share with you how we were recognized.
Good evening, President Madame Salazar Flores, Superintendent Dempsey, and board members. So it's my honor to let you all know that Santa Teresa High School has earned a place on the College Board AP School Honor Roll for the 22-23 school year, and we earned a bronze recognition nationwide with the AP program, AP College program. The AP School Honor Roll recognizes schools that have done an outstanding work to welcome more students into AP courses and support them on the path to college success. In addition, Santa Teresa High School is being recognized with the AP Access Award, which honors schools that encourage more low-income and underrepresented minority students to take AP courses. Research shows that students who take AP courses and exams are more likely to attend college and graduate on time. So let me explain the criteria. So to qualify for the 2023 AP School Honor Roll, schools must meet or exceed the criteria for a given recognition level for all three metrics, which include the college culture. The college culture is a percent of students in the graduating class, which was graduating class of 2023, who took an AP exam at any given point in high school, regardless of score. Only one AP exam per student contributes to this indicator. So with that said, at least one AP exam was taken from the graduating class, and that was 46% of our kiddos that took AP exams. Then the other criteria is college credit. Percent of college credit is the amount of students who scored a 3, 4, or 5 on their AP exams, and that was 25%. Then we have college optimization, which is a percentage of students in the graduating class who took 5 or more AP exams in high school, where at least one exam was taken in either 9th or 10th grade. Because research finds that 6 or more APs do not improve college graduation rates beyond the optimal total of 5 such courses. So with that said, our college optimization for Santa Teresa was 3%. So we had 3% of our kiddos through the 4 years of high school that scored a 3, 4, or 5. Currently, Santa Teresa High School offers AP courses, 13 AP courses, to prepare them for post-secondary education. At Santa Teresa, we continue to provide a college culture which inhibits students to enroll in AP courses to prepare them for AP exams, which allows them to receive college credit. This coming school year, 2024, we have approximately 20 to 25 more students taking AP exams this year. So we have almost 500 kiddos taking AP exams. And once again, it takes a considerable school-wide effort. It takes dedication from our teachers, our counselors, our administrators, students, and parents to make AP access a priority. So I proudly announce that we are one of the only schools in South New Mexico that have received this bronze award through College Board. And now I have Ms. Hudspeth to speak about our AP program.
Good evening, President Salazar Flores, Superintendent Dempsey, and other esteemed members of the board. We are honored to be recognized tonight for this accomplishment with our Advanced Placement Program. In 2021, Santa Teresa High School formed our AP Community of Practice, consisting of AP teachers and our AP coordinator, Mrs. Cobos. We formed this collaborative team based on the need to provide stronger supports for students taking our AP classes. To this day, we continue to work together to identify common skills across our courses. exchange teaching strategies, and promote and improve our AP program at ST. Currently, we are working on creating a list of commonly used vocabulary within our courses to help students build connections and recognize the commonalities between the subject areas. Additionally, we are working towards finding more ways to promote AP exam preparedness, establish classroom communities, and celebrate students who decide to take their AP exams. Through this effort, we hope to accomplish our goal of working as a team to create a culture and environment where our students can acquire the academic skills and confidence needed to find success in college. We are thankful for the continued and unwavering support of our administration, our AP coordinator, and for the time that we have to collaborate. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our student representative, we have Zoe Carr-Picconi, who's a 10th grader at Santa Teresa High School.
Yes, hello everyone. As he said, my name is Zoe Carpaccioni and I am the sophomore representative for STHS. We have had some wonderful things happening at our school. As a band member, I am very proud to announce that we had 10 band students this year make it to New Mexico All-State, which is a huge honor and opens up a lot of opportunities for them. I would also like to say that our ROTC recently made a trip, and I'm not sure what they placed, but I know that they did really well because all of my friends were really happy. Moving on to something not so great, we recently lost a member of our ST family. She was a 9th grader who was also a cheerleader, and recently we had a candlelight vigil held in our gym. And I want to say that I am so proud of the ST community coming together. Everybody was super respectful and paid so much respect to her family and her friends. I can tell that we have built a very supportive community, and I am so proud of that. Another thing that recently happened was, as I'm sure you all have heard, the ST community recently had a big issue with our water. Thankfully, it has been cleared up now, and I don't think anybody from our school got sick, thankfully. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. Ms. Flores, our next item is our board member report, but we do have a little slideshow if you want us to start that now.
Definitely. So we wanted to take the time to recognize Board Member Cano. This will be his last board meeting for this school year. And so thank you so much to Mr. Carmona and his team for creating a video. And so we pitched in some pictures, Mr. Cano.
Mr. Cano, I think I speak on behalf of the board. We really appreciate your commitment and dedication. It's been a joy to work with you. We do have a plaque that I'll let Ms. Flores present to you as well.
Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to start off by congratulating Ms. Murillo. She's graduating. The reason why she's not here, she's graduating, walking for her master's. Ms. Claudia Rodriguez, my other board member, medical reasons, she's at home, and hopefully get well soon. We'll see you soon. And Danny, stay safe out there in your business trip, and hopefully we'll see you soon. We'll see you around. As I go on for the night, it was hard to realize that this is going to be my last board member report. I would like to take the time to thank Ms. Navarro and all of her teachers that she had here at Riverside. I did start here as a parent in the PTO with the help of Mr. Sanchez at the very beginning before Ms. Navarro came in. And then as soon as Ms. Navarro came in, she went ahead and she embraced it, and we pushed it forward. And it was a wonderful PTO that we had built, and then bringing up the Riverside, up to the others, to the standards that we have now. I also want to take the time to thank my board members, as well as Mr. Dempsey, Ms. Flores, Arlene, Ms. Murillo, Danny, and as well as Ms. Claudia Rodriguez. Without you guys' support, I don't think I would have gotten this far. The bad thing about coming when I came into the board, and I clearly remember coming in, and when they voted me in, and 2 weeks later, we were supposed to go to Chicago, and then we ended up getting canceled because good old friend COVID hit, so we didn't get to travel together. But I've had lots of fun traveling and learning everything that we have to do with schoolwork. It is a lot of hard work and time. It takes a lot of time, especially being away from your family and your job and all that good stuff. But I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. It was the best thing, and I want to congratulate, say thank you, especially for the push that Ms. Navarro, Ms. Hernandez, most of my Riverside teachers pushing me into going into the board. I also want to thank the GISD staff for accepting me, for helping me move forward, and helping me wherever I needed help in getting through, in learning the rules and regulations, and knowing that my only person that I need to look after is Mr. Dempsey, and he did pretty good, guys. He did great. I think he's an awesome superintendent that we have in our district, and I hope we don't ever have to miss him. I also like to thank Ms. Delgado. Ms. Delgado and I go a long way too, from SD High, and she's an awesome person. She really keeps us to a tight curriculum when we go out there and when we travel. You do a wonderful job, Ms. Delgado, and thank you very much. For my last, I guess, report, I want to thank everybody in the community. Keep pushing for your students. Please attend coffee with the principals and coffee with the superintendent. You'll get a lot of vital information. Again, I want to thank all GISD staff, and I'll keep repeating myself, but thank you for everything that you have done for our district, and just keep our district moving forward. And needless to say, that will conclude my report. I, Armando Cano, District 1, signing off.
Mr. Castillo, are you there to give your report?
Mr. Castillo, board report.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. I apologize not being on site, but work. First of all, I want to congratulate the schools at La Vista, Anthony, Riverside, Mesquite, Also want to congratulate Gadsden and Chaparral for playing well together, and Santa Teresa for keeping the tradition of excellence. Uh, and lastly, I want to thank Mr. Cano for his service. Just one word of advice, Mr. Cano, please don't miss this. Miss the people, but don't miss this. You did well while you were here. Appreciate all the help. Your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cano. Moving on to Mrs. Murillo. What did I say? Oh, thank you, Mr. Castillo.
Okay, I just wanted to say thank you, Mr. Cano, for all your service, this year's of service. Also, I apologize for not being there. I am traveling to Silver City. And thank you, Ms. Navarro, for your hospitality. I know you guys always do a great job by hosting us. And we did attend the legislative dinner, and let me just say that it was amazing just having Chaparral and Gadsden making culinary arts, making food for us, the collaboration that we have with Las Cruces Public Schools and Hatch Public Schools. And I just want to say I'm really happy with the friendship that we have made with our legislators, because I think that opens the door to a great relationship to bring monies to our school district. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Murillo. I reached out to Ms. Rodriguez, and she's doing awesome. And she wanted me to tell you that she would have loved to have been here. And she's going to miss you, and she thanks you for your years of service. And yeah, that's from Ms. Very short and sweet. And she would have said more, because Claudia likes to talk. So, but she says she's going to miss you, and thank you for your years of service. And as far as my report, let's see. So it was yesterday evening, I believe. Yeah, it was yesterday. Today's? No. Tuesday. I don't even know what day I am in. So Tuesday we had our legislative primer, which is a dinner where we get to eat dinner and talk with our state legislators, our state senators. And so thank you, Principal Legareta, for hosting the event at your school. Thank you to Mr. Sapien, Ms. Garcia. There was another lady, I forget her name, but Ms. Holguin, and to all our kiddos from ST, Gadsden High School, Chaparral, for preparing dinner. It was delicious. We had a choice between, I think, a stuffed poblano, and it looked like street tacos to me. I had the street tacos, absolutely delicious. Really enjoyed also the dessert. So well done. Thank you for all you do for our kids. We also came back last week. We attended on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday the New Mexico School Board Association annual convention. And if you're curious what we do there in the mornings, usually we always have as a special guest speaker the current New Mexico Secretary of Education, Dr. Arsenio Romero was there, and then they provide us with other guest speakers to inspire us. In the afternoon, we do enter the delegation. So basically what it is we're voting to approve the resolutions that were presented before the New Mexico School Board Association Resolution Committee, and then those go forward to the legislators. And also we take the time to vote for our state officials. So we do have the opportunity ourselves to run for treasurer, vice president, president. So that's what we do the first day. And then of course the next day we get to attend professional development. And so I do want to take also the time to thank Superintendent Dempsey. Thank you so much for nominating us. Do other people get nominated too? And then who selects?
Madam President, yes, so other nominations occur and then they have to screen them, and so.
Okay, awesome. So that means that we competed against other large school boards across our state. And so I'm very proud to serve on this board. I love each and every one of you, Mr. Cano, Mr. Castillo, Claudia, Ms. Rodriguez, and Arlene. Like Mr. Cano was saying, it does take time. It takes time away from our families. Many of us have sat here
and it's our anniversary, or we're missing the birthday of one of our kiddos. And so it's something that you know, when the time comes for us to run again, or we choose not to run again, you know, like Claudia always says, you know, those parents that are out here sitting, like you, ma'am, or you, sir, you know, aviéntense, you know, sign up to be a candidate. It's a beautiful job. Yes, they don't pay you, but the reward is awesome when you see kids' faces light up, you know, when they're presenting, when you see awesome scores in our district. So it's an awesome, being a public servant is an awesome opportunity. So thank you, Mr. Dempsey, for that nomination. We really appreciate it. And I was telling him I had to give a little speech. I didn't even know. And I'm stealing this from one of our presenters. It's true. You know, we are a board of 5, because there's 5, but really we're a board of 6. And thank you for at least putting up with me, because I know sometimes we might headbutt or something, but I've learned a lot from you. And, you know, stay in my lane. I admit it, sometimes I want to not stay in my lane, but, you know, that comes with time, because you don't know what you don't know, and it's through professional development that you learn what your role is as a board member. And so thank you guys again, because I'm very proud again to be part of this board. You know, I'm so proud that when we go to these conventions, these gatherings, we're the ones that we're always there. You know, sometimes I am very metiche, very observant. And I notice, you know, who's there from other districts. And it's you know, there's always people missing from other boards, but we're always there. So thank you for your dedications to come and to all my other board members, fellow board members. I wanted to also thank Principal Navarro. I heard que se va a retirar come January. Thank you so much for your service. La vamos a extrañar. Gracias por ser, you know, a true advocate for dual language and our kiddos. Thank you for your years of service. We're going to miss you. Pero muchas gracias por todo lo que has hecho por nuestra comunidad. See. And again, congratulations to our Spotlight schools. Congratulations to all of our schools. Like Ms. Hernandez said, it's a blessing that nobody was on MRI, ¿verdad? So we look forward to making progress, and there's always room for improvement. And I believe with that, one more thing is Ms. Urea. I sounded like she had 30 years of service. Thank you for all you do. That was a spectacular job directing the kiddos, because the fine arts program is a very important part of our schools that many times, you know, those other programs is what brings our kids to school. So thank you so much for your years of service. With that, I conclude my report, and thank you for all of you who joined us this evening in person and those of you who are joining us online. With that being said, we're going to move on to item 5 on our agenda, our Human Resource Report. That is only there for public knowledge. No action is required to be taken on behalf of the board. Then moving on to item 6, do I hear a motion?
Madam President, I'll make a motion that we accept the modification of the agenda.
Mr. Cano has made a motion to accept the agenda as is. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 7, do I hear a motion?
Motion that we accept the minutes.
Okay, Mr. Castillo has made a motion to accept the minutes for our school board meeting November 9, 2023. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 7B, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we accept board minutes for November 14th.
Mr. Castillo has made a motion to accept our special board meetings for November 14, 2023. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries also. Moving on to consent agenda, do I hear a motion?
Madam President, I'll make a motion that we accept the consent agenda as is.
Board member Cano has made a motion to accept the consent agenda as is. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns? Okay, if there are none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, motion carries. Moving on to agenda number 9, open forum. Ms. Delgado, do we have any speakers this evening?
Madam President, we do have open forum.
Thank you. So we do have one speaker for this evening, Jennifer Campos. Before I ask you to pass to the podium, I do remind you, ma'am, that the board discourages personal attacks on staff personnel or any other persons in attendance or absent by individuals who address the board. Any person making public comments shall be solely responsible for the content of his or her comments. The board neither adopts nor assumes responsibility for any comments made by individuals during public comment. Presenters are cautioned that statements or representations concerning others that are false and damaging to a person's reputation may subject the presenter to civil action for defamation. The board prohibits personal threats and the use of obscenity. Such speech is not protected and will not be permitted. The board further prohibits disruptive conduct. Disruptive conduct will not be tolerated. Any violations may result in the removal from the premises. With that being said, I now call Jennifer Campos to the podium. Jennifer, are you out there? You'll be given 5 minutes, ma'am.
Parents and staff, the topic I want to discuss is one that is sensitive, but I want to bring awareness to how bullying is being handled by the school and by the district. For a school that strongly emphasizes zero tolerance on bullying, your actions have proved that they discriminately tolerate it. My son is in 5th grade here in Riverside Elementary. He is on the spectrum and also has epilepsy. He was placed in the wrong class for the first quarter of the school year and has new classmates. He has been getting bullied by a group of girls in this class. They would call him names, and when I finally told him to stand up for himself and say something back to them, he was threatened that they were going to beat him up. On the week of October 16th, he was assaulted by a group of 4 girls during recess. They followed him to the jungle gym, and one of the girls started to hit him. When he tried to defend himself, the other 3 girls started to punch him in his head, his chest, and threw him to the ground, and they all kicked him. Bruises covered his legs days later. On October 24th, I went to the vice principal of the school and the counselor, and they, quote, told the girls not to do it again. It took 3 days to call parents. Those girls didn't even get a day of suspension or lunch detention, as my son continued to be taunted by the girls during recess. I contacted the district on October 30th to submit a parent complaint and let them know I was outrageously upset about the situation. After multiple voicemails and finally received a call from the academic chief officer, but missed her call due to work. Since then, I have reached out to her multiple times and have yet to receive a response. I have contacted the district once a week since October 30th and have yet to receive any type of resolution to my complaint, and it has almost been 6 weeks. My son is being discriminated against for being a male student and for being special needs. If the situation had been different and a group of boys had assaulted a female student, I am absolutely positive the situation would have been handled very differently. It breaks my heart witnessing my son go through this, and no one in the school nor the district seemed to care. I spoke to the vice principal on another unrelated incident, and I let her know how unhappy I was with her choice of consequences. She let me know that due to the circumstances of the situation, the consequences she had given the students were satisfactory to her. Anything short of suspension for an assault brought by 4 students against 1 student is unacceptable. Many children take their own lives because of bullying, and I will not allow this to be the same outcome for my son. I want the school staff and district to be better at holding students accountable for their violent actions, as well as the staff who take these matters lightly. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Campos. And your information will be shared with Mr. Dempsey, and I will follow up with him to make sure that somebody has contacted you in a reasonable time now. Okay, moving on to action items 10A. We only have one this evening. Gadsden Middle School construction temporary proposal for student staff. Superintendent Dempsey.
Madam President, board members, this item will be presented by Ms. Hernandez, Ms. Cadena, and Ms. Barciaca.
Madam President, members of the board, and Superintendent Dempsey, we return with the follow-up on the Gadsden Middle School proposal in regards to the construction of the new school. We last met at the board meeting on 10/26, and per the board's request, we took back the information. We've had 8 meetings since then. One of them was actually a walkthrough. So if you can see on the slides, we met with GMS staff on 11/8/2023. We met with the GMS 7th grade parents who were going to be going to our proposed high school Old English building on 11/8. That meeting was in person, and we had about 20 people, I believe, show up. There was a meeting with the North Valley Elementary parents. I was not part of that meeting, and I was out due to my father's death. We also had campus reviews done from Loma Linda and Anthony Elementary. We had a couple of walkthroughs go through there with Ms. Cadena and a team. An Anthony Elementary parent meeting on 11/16. We had a virtual parent meeting, 2 parent meetings on the same night. We did one for the follow-up on the middle school parents, and then we had one that addressed the Anthony Elementary and Loma Linda parents. And then we are here today. So, Ms. Cadena, did you want to go ahead and?
Good evening, Madam President, Superintendent Dempsey, board members. As just as a follow-up, we are here because it's a good thing. We're going to construct a brand new Gadsden Middle School, and that's what prompted this whole plan and proposal to you today. As we had presented previous, we had different options, and we did a lot of research, a lot of walkthroughs, a lot of meeting, and as Ms. Hernandez said, she pointed out that we had community meetings, as you had suggested and recommended. So it is just a temporary solution so that we can demolish the existing Gadsden Middle School that was built in 1968 and get a brand new, beautiful facility for our students and they deserve it. So I just wanted to say that and let Ms. Hernandez do the rest.
You could go to the next slide, please. So originally we had proposed to the board that we would like for Loma Linda to house the K through 3rd grade. And if you recall in our last meeting, after some discussion and some data and some numbers that Ms. Cadena looked at in regards to student housing, transportation programs, our recommendation, our proposal is going to be K through 4th at Loma Linda Elementary. So we presented that to our staff and our parents. And so one of the reasons we wanted to really emphasize it's a temporary transition, right? So why would we do that? We would like to keep the lower grades together. And of course, we would provide busing as suggested or as required by our legislative piece or our PIT, right? The numbers currently remain stable in both campuses. We've lost 1 student at Anthony Elementary, so I think they were at 421, they're at 420 now. And then Loma Linda continues to be at 283. So then our proposal for Anthony then turned into the 5th through 7th grade. We were able to solidify that piece. If you recall, we kind of discussed that. And again, why Anthony Elementary? Again, we emphasize it was just a temporary transition while GMS is constructed. We'd like to keep all the upper grades together because, as you recall, our plan is intentional to move the 6th grade to the middle school. So this group would be able to function as upper grades. We reminded them that the 6th graders would be part of the middle school when it's built, and then that all 7th grade students from the feeder pattern would be housed at Anthony Elementary. Excuse me. After that, we went ahead and explained why this was our proposal to the board, right? We went over all these logistic considerations. Excuse me. Again, I apologize. So we went over the logistic considerations that we presented to the board in regards to a phase construction could take us way longer than a continuous construction. We talked about the facility condition and capacity that we could use and house. We talked about how personnel is affected in regards to teachers, administrators, support staff. We also talked about why teacher certification was important, busing, student class scheduling, after school programs and athletics, and then all of our special programs. We also shared with them the same thing we shared with you in regards to numbers originally. It's linked on this piece. So as we met with our parents, the big concerns that came out were kind of what we already anticipated. And these were major concerns. We had a lot of conversations, but the number one piece is transportation. Will there be transportation for students? And so Ms. Cadena explained regarding if you're within a mile radius, yes. If you're in the middle school, said it would be 1.5 miles. And she can explain that further in her piece. The next question was, and this we heard all, not just from parents, but also from teachers, will the 7th grade students be with the elementary students? Are they going to be mixed in with them? Are they going to ride the same buses? Are they going to eat the same lunches? Are they going to, there was a lot of those questions. So right now, Ms. Quiñones is also here today. We talked about the middle school staying on their middle school schedule. We also talked about, through the walkthroughs, we've identified a hall or an area where only 7th grade would be. We talked about splitting the lunches as well, right? And we also talked about middle school uniforms. Ms. Quiñones definitely stated that they would wear their uniforms. Then with the 8th grade's parents, the biggest concern was the same question. Will they be mixed with the 9th grade students, with the high school students, with how is this going to work? So we reminded parents that currently their middle school students are already on the buses with the high school students. We also already have 8th grade students who participate in sports at the high school, or not the high school, but go to do soccer. We also have programs such as band where our 8th grade students can participate. They play with them in some of the games. And so again, we went over the same pieces that we had discussed in regards to our proposal, that it would be the old English building and part of the old main science hall. We actually had the opportunity to walk our parents through when we were at Gadsden High School. And so a lot of questions, and once they saw the facility, once they saw the classrooms and those pieces, they seemed to be a little bit more at ease. The only thing they did ask is if we were at some point going to mix the grade levels, they would just want some transparency from the district and maybe parent permission. Like if a student, I don't know, I'll use band or ag is one of the questions. They just want to know that if we were to do that, if a student wanted to take a course with a 9th grade group or an elective, that if we could notify them and then they would approve it or not, right? Because we had both pieces. We have the opportunity to participate with the high school students in some areas if we're able to, but then parents have the fear, which is, you know, as a parent myself, I would want to know how is this going to be handled. So really they just ask for transparency. If we're going to offer a class where there's going to be 9th graders or upper grade, could we let the parent know first and then they could make that decision, right? The other piece was that, again, the 8th graders would wear a uniform, just like they're in middle school. We talked about separating them and just making sure that there wouldn't be too much collaboration between upperclassmen. Of course, we wouldn't want our 12th graders with our 8th graders, so that's something that we were discussing. Excuse me. Did we consider other options? That seemed to be a question across the board, especially with our teachers. And actually, when we reflected back, this is actually our plan C. Our original plan was Mesquite Elementary, and as you're aware, we let them know regarding the sewer pipelines and how they're collapsing. We currently do use it for debtors training in the library, but we're very concerned. Ms. Cadena has expressed that depending on how those pipelines hold up, we may not have access to that campus. But we're hoping, we're praying at least through the end of the year. We discussed with them the cost of portables, because that was something, you know, can't we just use portables? And so when they understood the cost of moving a portable, you know, I think Jessica, Ms. Cadena had said it goes from $200,000 to $300,000 to move them now. we also don't have that many portables. So at one point, I think someone said, let's use the ones at the high school. If you remember, Gadsden High School had a bunch of portables back there when we used community college. Those are not there anymore. We probably have 3 or 4, I believe. The other piece was we also thought of keeping them on their campus, but again, it wasn't logistically possible. Students would be rounded up for sports. Some campuses don't have the room. And so we talked about that piece and also why that would not be a good move. Another major concern that they had, and I knew this was coming, was will there be more security? So when we explained that the campus itself already has security guards, we continued to say regarding it's a school within a school. The staff will go there, the security guards will go there, the custodians will go there. So they will still align with their grade levels, right? So they'll be able to support it. So yes, there would be more security because those securities at the middle school would be split into the high school and the elementary. And then a question was, what's going to happen to the administrators? So again, once we presented the concept of a school within the school, they understood that the assistant principal would stay at Anthony, one assistant principal would be housed at Gadsden High School, and then Ms. Quiñones will roll back and forth depending on IEPs or the needs of the campus. So those were really, really the major parent concerns we had. Then we had staff concerns, you know, and so Ms. Burciaga will address those pieces regards to what we found.
Good evening, Madam President, members of the board, Superintendent Dempsey. HR's role in this transition is really to support our staff, to listen to their concerns, and really think about all the needs of the students in regards to staffing and making sure we're meeting those needs. In attending the meetings, I can tell you that our staff have more concerns than our parents. And it's really the same fear that we experienced during our consolidation, the fear of the unknown. Staff want to know, what campus will I be at and what will I be doing at that campus? And so here's a little bit of information, but of course we can't make those decisions until a decision is made by the board and we have approval to continue with the plan. So here's where we are in the process of staffing. When it comes to Gadsden Middle School, we are very fortunate that Ms. Quiñones has already been through a transition before in her career. So she has taken advantage and met with every single staff member. And she also has formed 7th grade team, 8th grade team. The plan is to keep those teams. 7th grade will stay with 7th grade, 8th grade will stay with 8th grade. There are a few teachers affected that teach specials. And so those that teach 7th and 8th, we are not going to require them to go back and forth. We will either assign 7th grade to them or assign 8th grade to them. And again, Ms. Quiñones has already had those conversations with them. So then we do go to Anthony Elementary and Loma Linda. And of course, these staff members are also worried. What will be their placement for the coming year? So what we did is we sent out a survey and we asked questions in regard to what was their priority. Was their priority to remain at their campus or to remain at their same position or grade level? So we had 78 staff members respond. And here's a little bit of the data. 60 of those 78 staff members prefer to remain on their campus. And 18 would prefer to remain in their current role. So we're gonna listen to that feedback. And as we meet for staffing, we're going to attempt to accommodate these teachers that prefer to stay in their same grade. However, we do need to keep in mind that student need always drives staffing. And so some requests may not be feasible according to the numbers. If we have 20 teachers requesting 1st grade and we only need 4 1st grade teachers, we'll have to meet them accordingly. But it is our goal to make sure that we can give an answer to our staff as soon as possible. And it's our goal to try to accommodate them the most as we can. Any questions in regard to staffing?
Questions, comments, concerns?
I got one.
Sure.
With moving, you said you guys you had a meeting with 7th grade and 8th grade.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this construction is going on next year, correct? So, have we met with 6th grade parents, 6th grade students and parents going into 7th grade?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have.
I had a question, it's a question from Ms. Rodriguez. Her question is, what will facts students that Mr. Madrid has look like since it's 7th and 8th grade? So like that's a special.
Yeah, so again, we will either assign that teacher depending, there's gonna be some factors in here. We're gonna look at electives at the high school. If there's something that we can do to help those kids attend those electives, then and we need that elective in 7th grade, then that person will just be in 7th grade, or vice versa. If it's truly an elective needed in 8th grade, then that person will just be in 8th grade. But I think teachers need to be at ease that we're not going to require them to go back and forth campus to campus.
I had a question regarding band. Obviously, there's no what the band directors. Well, the band director works with 7th and 8th grade. So how is that gonna work out? And then 8th graders, can they participate in the band competition?
And so those are details, Ms. Flores, that we're still working out. But again, we need the plan to be approved so we can go forth and say, yes, this is where they're going to be at. This is how we're going to approach these needs. So once we get that approval, we will regroup. We will address all these needs specifically and come up with a plan and present to you again.
Mr. Castillo, Ms. Murillo, do you have any questions?
Can you repeat that?
I don't.
Mr. Castillo? No? Yeah, Mr. Castillo, no? Okay, so I don't think we have any more questions. Okay. Arlene? Yes. Arlene, are you there?
Yeah, she said she did. Go ahead, Ms. Murillo.
Okay,
I'm sorry, say that again?
They're asking if you have questions.
Oh, no, I'm good, thank you.
Okay, okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and make a motion that we approve Gadsden Middle School construction, the temporary proposal for student staff. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you so much for the information.
Thank
ladies.
you.
Okay, moving on to discussion items. Discussion item 11A, Gadsden Middle School proposed change of school colors to Gadsden High School colors. Superintendent Dempsey.
Madam President, board members, Ms. Quinones is going to present this item.
Madam President, members of the board, and Superintendent Dempsey, I would like to bring this presentation for a proposal. This has been in talk for a couple of years once we found out that we were going to get a new school. I've always heard the saying, I bleed gold and maroon, and I completely understand what that means. And so through the years, we have uniform, and our school colors are red, black, and white. And so we have strict uniforms. We expect our students to be in uniforms. And throughout the years, we've had many students who wear the maroon and gold. And it's been very difficult to tell a student to take off that shirt or that sweatshirt because they're representing Gadsden High School. And so I had brought it up to Mr. Dempsey a couple of years, and we've been talking about it. And we would like to propose to change our school colors to meet Gadsden High School's colors. I do have a slide here. I took it to the community, the students, and the teachers. And can I go to the next slide? Okay. So we would like to build unity. Our goal is to build unity between the middle school and the high school by sharing the school colors. I think that our kids, we always say that middle school is a forgotten middle because everybody remembers elementary, high school, but for some reason, middle school is somewhat forgotten because it is difficult. So we decided, we would like to build unity within the community and our students. So we took to the vote through Remind, we gave the community and students a chance to vote, and 56.1% voted to change colors for Gadsden High School, to meet Gadsden High School's colors. 69% were students, as you could see. Students are in favor. We had 22.2 parents and guardians and 8.8 faculty and staff. So the colors, Gadsden High School is maroon, gold, and black, and so our original colors are black, white, and red. So 43% wanted to stay the same, and 56% wants that change. Reasons for change is alignment in athletics with high school as feeder schools. I know they're very excited. A lot of our coaches are from the high school, so I know that they will appreciate that as well. School spirit shirts can be used for 6 years instead of 2. So when we've changed uniforms, and our uniform is black polo and white polo, we made it very simple for it to be affordable for parents. We introduced our logo finally last year because of COVID, because there was a shortage of polos. So this will also be cost effective for the parents as well. And we will no longer be the forgotten middle. Next slide, please. Thank you for your support. So please consider it. Thank you.
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns for Ms. Quiñones, board members? I just want to make a comment. I think I support it, and probably it's a good thing now that we are, we are going to reconstruct the school, and then the design committee can take into consideration those changes in colors. So I think it's an awesome opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. We have a saying at Gadsden Manor, you enter as a cub and you leave as a panther, so we'll definitely make it all together with our colors as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you.
Madam President, just a note, that would come back for action. We'll bring it back for action to the board.
Our next item for discussion this evening is Energy Management Plan. Superintendent Dempsey.
Madam President, board members, Ms. Vela is going to help us with this item.
Good evening, Madam President, Board Member, and Superintendent Dempsey. It's my pleasure to bring to you this time the Energy Management Plan for discussion. The Energy Management Plan is part of our preventive maintenance plan, and the Physical Plan Department and Construction Department will work together to keep all these plans up to date. So due to all the changes that we are having with our HVAC and lighting system control systems, and the plan was revised and updated to follow the current controls that we are now using, and also to keep the responsibilities of the HVAC supervisor that now we have. So as you can see on the documentation, I highlight the items that were changed and updated. I don't know if Mr. Dempsey can just move it. Yeah, there you go. It's more about, like I said, is to include the HVAC and lighting control systems. There are also some classrooms that have occupancy sensors. Like I said, the HVAC supervisor responsibility, and also we include, this is lighting controls, again, just to add the item in there. Go ahead, Mr. Dempsey. Again, the HVAC supervisor responsibility, the control system schedules, the lighting system. I just highlight where we add the HVAC supervisor responsibility and the control system. We also include the low and the high limit settings in there, and we also bold at the very end, the degrees, again, the low limit and high limits for the temperatures. And we bold there the personal equipment that is allowed on the schools and classrooms. Do I stand for any questions?
Are there any questions, comments, or concerns, board members? Okay. I don't believe there's any. Thank you, Ms. Vela.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to our next discussion item is our monthly budget report for the month ending October 31st, 2023. Superintendent Dempsey.
Madam President, board members, Ms. Rivera is going to help us with this item.
evening, President Flores, board members, Superintendent Dempsey. We are here to present the monthly budget report for the month ended October 31st, 2023. The operational fund revenues as of October 31st, 2023 are 53.8 million. Operational fund expenditures as of October 31st, 2023 are 43.5 million. The October 31st, 2023 operational fund cash balance before loans was 78.9 million. The cash balance after temporary loans of 9.8 million to the grant funds was 69.2 million. The total revenues for all funds as of October 31st, 2023 are $117.5 million. Total expenditures for all funds as of October 31st, 2023 are 85.8 million. Direct instruction expenditures plus encumbrances for the operational fund as of October 31st, 2023 were 93.6 million or 63.79% of the total operational fund expenditures. We don't have any internal review findings for the month of October, and we are in compliance with the pledge collateral requirements. Do I have any questions? Do you have any questions?
Any questions, comments, or concerns from Ms. Rivera? Okay, I don't believe so. Thank you so much for your presentation. Have a good evening, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to item 12 on our agenda, upcoming board meetings and events. So just a reminder that our next board meeting will be taking place Thursday, January 11th of 2024, not 2023. And just a reminder to fellow board members that our deadline to submit requests for items to be added to the agenda is this upcoming Monday, December 11, 2023. And then also a reminder that this month on December 20th, Wednesday, December 20th at 10 a.m., there will be a swearing in for re-elected officials at the Doña Ana County Government Center. So you are all welcome to attend. Who was re-elected? Mr. Castillo, Ms. Rodriguez, and then Cristian Lira, if you all would like to join. And then we will also have a swearing in, correct, at our first school board meeting come January. And we did not put, just a reminder, fellow board members, put on your calendar. Ms. Ludwig did send us an invitation to attend the Desert Pride Academy graduation. Will be taking place December 16, which is on a Saturday at 6 p.m. at the McGoffin Auditorium. So we look forward to attending that event. With that being said, I would like to make a motion that we enter now into closed session, limited personnel matters pursuant to 10-15-1, H2 of the Open Meetings Act, NMSA 1978, as amended for superintendents and associate superintendents report on employees and administrative leave with pay, employee grievances, and employee issues. All in favor? Actually, no, we need to take a roll call. Ms. Delgado, please take roll call.
Mr. Cano?
Aye.
Mr. Castillo?
Aye.
Ms. Flores?
Aye.
Ms. Murillo?
Okay, that's a vote of 3, so that's motion carries. So we are now in closed session. Folks, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And you only have one more week to go before we go on winter break. And so y'all have a Merry Christmas. Have fun. Be safe out there. God bless. Love you.